Bloody hell. Oh, this is gonna be a shitstorm. Okay. Fuck me. Alright. Okie dokie. Okay, hey guys, what's up? If you're watching or if you're joining in, hello. I'm going to be, okay, full disclosure, I am both streaming this and recording this at the same time, so let's put on that agenda right there. Okay, this is the whole idea of this video, or the stream. I'm going to be watching this video live. This is the Warframe, the Corruption of Digital Extremes by Rahetalius. I think I'm pronouncing that name correctly. I'm going into this almost completely blind, and when I say almost completely blind, I only know of like a handful of things. Number one, I'm aware of the subject material. This is all about the chat moderation fiasco that is going on right now, so we are going to be looking into that. That's what this video is all about. And secondly, for whatever reason, this has caused quite a stink with DE themselves. We have already seen some pretty aggressive responses from members of the Digital Extremes team, namely, well, I'm not going to name any names because sack that, but yeah, like, I've had a look at those responses. It's not a good look, just saying, not a good look. Okay, so the idea is I might check a chat every so often, but more importantly, I'm just going to be looking at my audio levels, because looking at chat that's generally empty makes me depressed. Okay, no worries, cool. So let's just jump into it now. Unlike the IGN review thing that I did, apparently a lot of people don't like me stopping and starting, so I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm just going to let it keep going, and I'm only going to stop it if I'm trying to take some notes, and then we'll just go through those notes at the end. That's how we're going to do this, okay? If you don't like it, yell at the people who, if you like how I did the IGN one, which is stop and start, and just give spontaneous ideas off the bat, then yell at the people who told me in the IGN review, maybe you should try something else, man. Yeah, whatever. Okay, let's just get into it. Volume up. Here we go.
Chat moderators are volunteers for Digital Extremes. Chat moderators are volunteers
Oops,
for
my bad.
Digital Extremes. As such, they're expected to represent and uphold the standards established by the company. That said, any behavior in-game or on the official Warframe forums, personal social media accounts, websites, and/or anywhere Digital Extremes and Warframe is concerned should heed to the code of conduct. If violated, warnings will be issued, and repeat offenders will be removed from the program.
I'm going to be writing notes on my other screen.
I know what the majority of you are probably thinking. Oh look, this retard is probably going to complain about Vauban again. Trust me when I say this video has nothing to do with Vauban. It may be surprising to you, but it's true. For the rest of this video, I'm not even going to mention him. Anyways, I'm sure you're all very aware of how badly managed and run our chat moderator program is. 2 of our chat moderators have already left the program, thankfully. But the program itself remains the same. Who really cares, right? Well, what would you say if I told you that not even DE themselves know what the fuck is going on with their own moderators? Or at least, they don't care. Given that chat moderators and others have gotten away with things including, but not limited to, emotional extortion, selling copyrighted material without permission, nepotism, abuse of authority without repercussion, developer-linked favoritism, and other shit. Do I have your attention now?
I'm actually going to write that list down.
Without repercussion, developer-linked favoritism, and other shit.
Okay, so, oops.
And other shit.
Alrighty, so we're talking about emotional extortion, selling stuff, I guess, illegally. Nepotism, gotta love that. Abuse of authority, with or without repercussion, is already a bad thing. Favoritism, general shenanigans. Okay, cool, awesome.
Do I have your attention now? See, the problems with our chat moderators are not immediately obvious, because ever since their names have become synonymous with cancer, our colourful cast of characters have been going out of their way to remove as much evidence of their misdeeds as possible. Presumably to save face and/or wait for people to forget this ever happened. However, it does not matter what any of them tell you or what DE tells you. Much like the guides of the Lotus program, the chat moderator program is a failure kept on life support by DE, who consistently refuses to admit both programs have problems. This isn't something that just appeared out of nowhere. They're a problem that was started and keeps being perpetuated by DE's insistence of refusing to admit they made a mistake. What makes me qualified to say these was started and keeps being perpetuated by DE's
Okay.
insistence of refusing to admit they made a mistake. What makes me qualified to say these things with certainty? Well then, sit down, grab some popcorn, and listen. Let's begin with the easiest case, Telluric. Telluric was the first chat moderator to have, thankfully, left the program due to concerns over mental health, despite the fact that he was arguably the most unqualified chat moderator.
I'm about to get flamed for this, but...
First chat moderator to have, thankfully, left the program due to concerns over mental health.
Okay, cool.
Despite the fact that he was arguably the most unqualified chat moderator we have ever had. Just so you understand what kind of person we're talking about here, this is a guy who essentially had a mental breakdown on Twitter after leaving the program he chose to be a part of in the first place. This is a guy who outright said he cares more about punishing people than actually playing the game. This is a guy who silenced and ridiculed.
Oh crap. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna have to fucking pause and have a look at this shit. Okay. Alright, you know what? Here are the notes that I've written so far. Tweet would be nice to show the name and tag. Okay. Let's have a look at what Telluric has apparently said. I'm not going to toot my own horn, and I can no longer get screenshots of this conversation as I'm no longer guide of the Lotus, but I was being recommended to joining the guides because of my extreme assistance in the Frost Prime case. The fuck is that? While many guides are in agreement that I didn't even need to do the application, Danielle said that they would need it regardless. The applications are important. I moderated Warframe's chats before I was even a moderator. I would sit in region and relay for hours, choosing not to play the game in lieu of watching for players who would seek harm and belittle others. In the case of Frost, oh okay, must be a dick. I chose to even give up sleep so I could catch them in the relay chat for being ugly towards players. I had a hand in him being permanent banned, and I was a simple player then. Interesting. Okay, interesting. I think I remember hearing about Frost Prime. Anyway, nowadays people say that because I have purple text I can kick ban someone. I'm sort of emotionless brick wall. I don't even have to formally talk to someone to be insulted by them. I've been called degrading and insulting things from players, and I haven't even kicked or banned from chat. My gender identity has been invalidated many times. I've been called homophobic slurs and have had people teasing me about raping or killing me. Okay, that's gonna be a big yikes. I don't understand why, nor do I care. It's the same thing. It always happens. If you play whack-a-mole, you hit one guy, two more pop up. It's the same thing. It's the same with ugly players. There will always be more. Even people who claim to be a friend or act on my behalf or paint a pretty picture of themselves to DE are no different. Because they turn around and insult and degrade chat moderators where they think that no one can see. They think that they can get away with it, just have no idea. We see what people hide. Okay, cool. That's pretty aggressive.
Than actually playing the game. This is a guy who silenced and ridiculed anyone who in the slightest degree said something
Okay, hold on. Let's just
he
keep going.
didn't agree with. This is a guy who, despite having a job and being a toxic piece of shit online,
Greetings and welcome to my profile. Nothing much to see here, especially if you're just coming to snoop and gawk at the horrible transgender moderator that you all hate for uploading the rules of the chat and by supporting transphobic fetish crap that being added to the filter. I wanted to go read the terms which you agree to. Yada, 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 yada. You agree to not post or upload to, transmit, distribute, store, create, or otherwise publish to the website. Use a content that is unlawful, libelous, defamatory, obscene, pornographic, indecent, lewd, suggesting or harassing, threatening invasion of privacy. Okay, cool. I mean, okay, whatever. So this is. Oh no, this is their own personal. I think this is their own page, right?
resorts to pulling the victim card.
Hey? Oh, that's gonna be a massive yikes. Okay, I see what that is. Abuse or flaunt their positions as a chat moderator. Ah, so you're not allowed. Okay.
Resorts to pulling the victim card on Tumblr on multiple occasions. And trust me, this was brought up on Tumblr by people who know Tumblr.
God damn it, it's actually too warm.
This was mentioned not once, not twice, not thrice, but 4 times. I'm not joking when I say that there's an entire essay detailing all the horrible things.
I'm a pretty bad. Oh god. I thought it was a lot colder, guys. Whoops, my bad.
Telluric has done to people who made the mistake of trusting him.
Is that all evidence?
Such as refusing to pay back $4,000 that was given to Telluric to help him get back on his feet. He's asked for people to pay for his cat's surgery, buy him a car, and to pay off a parking ticket. There's a lot of shit Telluric has done. If you want to read his shit show for yourself, go to the link on the description below. If that's not enough for you, Telluric had the balls to start selling Warframe licensed material without any knowledge from DE themselves. Although DE, Danielle, has been blamed for all this chat moderator nonsense because she technically runs the guides of the Lotus program, DE entirely is to blame. Not just Danielle.
Are those my speakers or is that the video?
Has been blamed for all this chat moderator nonsense because she technically runs the guides of the Lotus program. DE entirely is to
Okay, it's the video.
Not just Danielle. How do I know this? I asked DE myself.
Out of curiosity, has Telluric gained Dee's permission to sell this?
Hey Rahetalius. I'll be honest, I'm not sure if we have any official merch available on Redbubble. I'll send this on to the team. Thanks.
Quick question. I know that Danielle is in charge of the guides of the Lotus program, but is she also in charge of the chat moderator program?
Hi Rahetalius, sorry for the delay, the studio was closed yesterday. Given the care needed to run something like the chat moderator program, it really is a team effort. It doesn't rest solely on any one staff member's shoulders. Oh, and as for the Redbubble site, any officially supported Warframe merch will be available only on store.warframe.com or on sites that we have publicly partnered with, IAM8BIT, FanForge, etc. If you see Warframe stuff on sites like Teespring, etc., it's safe to assume that it's not officially licensed.
That itself goes against the code of conduct, by the way. This was allowed to happen by DE for the past who knows how many years Telluric was a chat moderator, even though the code of conduct should have seen him be removed from his position long ago. How ironic is it that those who supposedly fight toxic assholes are themselves toxic assholes?
I'm not proud of. Okay. But I see reason I made it hard for transfer to exist in region chat. That I'm content with. Hollow power abuse if you want, I'm taking out.
Then again,
Okay.
the entire social justice warrior culture is nothing more than people who have spent too much time on Tumblr and Twitter to actually know what the difference is between fighting for free speech and fighting for the rights to silence opinions you don't like. And by the way, the term political correctness, which people like Telluric love to campaign for, was coined in a communist text known as the Little Red Book, written by a guy who you may know as Chairman...
Wait, why the fuck are we talking about communism?
In a communist text known as the Little Red Campaign for was coined fighting for the rights to silence opinions you don't like. And by the way, the term political correctness, which people like Telluric love to campaign for, was coined in a communist text known as the Little Red Book, written by a guy who you may know as Chairman Mao Zedong. In case that name doesn't ring a bell,
This is irrelevant. This is all irrelevant. I'm sorry, dude, but this is actually irrelevant to the point. I don't care. I don't care if he's gonna continue, whatever. I'm skipping it.
So, yeah. Speaking of Chairman Mao...
Sure, Telluric and Server have direct ties with DE, but, you know, at least Missandris doesn't.
I see this right now with some lovely friends, Corial and Misan.
It's a lost cause, man. Her freaking pet was named Chairman Mao, for f***'s sake.
Okay, I guess it is relevant. Oh my god. So apparently, okay, fuck it, whatever.
Now we have friend zoning misandrist, now known as Missan, now also known as Nervous Trash Cat, also known as how many times do I have to change my name until everyone forgets about me? Although not as insane as Telluric, Missan is a bit of an enforcer of what we call the double standard. Since Missan was publicly against the Nether is a trap meme and Rule 63 Warframe art, yet she has absolutely no problem unironically...
Rule 63?
And Rule 63 Warframe art.
Rule 63? The fuck is... What's Rule 6... What's Rule 63? What's Rule 63? It's often used to shorthand for gender swap characters, for example, Rule 63. Oh, okay, gender swap characters. Okay, cool. Never heard of it.
Yet she has absolutely no problem unironically posting both on her Tumblr.
Really? That was gender swapped? I'm pausing it. Okay, you know what? Screw it. I'm pausing it and stop it and start it, stack it.
Yet she has absolutely no problem unironically posting both on her...
That's gender swapped. The Necros doesn't look like that gender swapped. The Oberon, yes.
She also leaked Valka Prime before it launched, which also goes against the Moderator Code of Conduct, FYI.
That's actually a bigger crime. A much bigger crime.
Even though she's friends with DE staff, they refuse to refer to her by her old name.
Clap, 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 clap. Oh, I love when Equinox claps. Do it again. Friend zoning.
You invited that person.
Did it?
I didn't. Because I was typing every name I
I
invited.
love that they're Sentinel matches. Like, it's amazing.
See?
It's curious, if you think about it. It's almost as if DE acknowledges how uncomfortable it is to say her name. The chat moderator program was and still is to this day a joke. How do you expect Warframe's reputation to flourish? We've already been noticed by the media, so who's to say things won't get worse in the future? We're being moderated by people who taunt or threaten anyone who does anything they don't like. What are we supposed to do? Talk about the moderator?
Alright, let's have a look at those screenshots.
So who's to say things won't get worse in the future? We're being moderated by people who taunt or threaten anyone who...
Okay, let me just write down Newsweek, which apparently I don't expect to actually cover anything about video games, so that can only be a bad thing. Okay, I am now watching the subreddit witch hunt. I am now watching this... Okay, so this is someone else. Okay, cool. I am now watching the subreddit witch hunt another chat... Oh no, this is... Not? Okay. Freely insult everyone who's justifiably angry to the silence over the above. Hey there, Bao. I'm an actual chat mod for Warframe. I heard you said you got banned for saying connecting siphon trap. I found that strange since contextually that makes sense, so I went and tested it myself. Turns out I didn't get kicked even when I wasn't in mod mode. if he got banned for kinetic siphon trap, that's gonna be a major problem. Okay, cool. So testing a chat banning council chat instead of region chat. What? He tested a cat. No, that can't be right. That's way too stupid. And claiming it's false despite proof of the that's too stupid. Linking to innocuous items can now get you banned. Okay. I'm gonna come up with a nuclear take, guys. If you are actively trying to say that Nezha is a trap and you're trying to circumvent the rules that do exist, what's up? I am live and recording a video. What's up? Okay, guess not. If you're trying to circumvent the rules, which it must exist, if the rules do exist, and saying that you're trying to say Nezha is a trap in region chat and you get banned, I'm sorry, dude. That's on you. Okay, if you get suspended like that, that's on you. You can't fuck. It's in the rules, right? D has. Let's just continue watching the fucking video. Whatever.
Who does anything they don't like?
Of course, if the mods are not getting banned, saying that, then we have a massive problem. And if that is the case, I think that is the case as shown in that. Anyway.
What are we supposed to do?
Fuck.
Talk about the moderators on the forums that is actively censored? Report the moderators to DE, who have done nothing to fix things besides hire somebody who's friendly with them? Let the record also show that DE Bear, formerly known as Silverbones, has been public for a long time now about his friendship with Telluric and other chat moderators. Bear was chosen by DE to supervise the chat moderators, and from a logical perspective, this makes no sense. Hiring somebody who's friends with the people he's supposed to oversee is nepotism at its finest, which in the real business world causes problems. But here in Warframe, there's obviously going to be bias. So what's the point? Telluric is living proof that DE doesn't actually look into their volunteer applicants.
No one is getting banned for exchanging shards for Endo. Huh? Shards? Shards? Shards. Oh, this must be something else. I don't get what's popular Discord. We had a similar issue and no one got banned. Stop. Okay, but apparently people did get banned. Your best bet is to not exchange the shards. Oh my god. What shards are we talking about? I don't remember. I actually don't. Brilliant shards. Trade brilliant and Eidolon shards. Shards regardless. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. That's not a particularly good answer then. Please report me. Hi? I'd love that. Your report against me is literally nothing special. Oh. It seems that the ban. It seems there is a bug that allows you to trade for 25k Endo at Maru, and it will end up getting banned. Seems quite a serious issue. Scott has come out and said that the code team was on it, and the bans will be reversed. Alright, cool. All I've seen are angry users. I hope they stay that way. Okay, this is about a glitch.
Let alone look up whatever potentially obnoxious or repugnant things they say on their social media, even though that's literally part of DE's own moderator code of conduct. Speaking of being
Oh, no, never mind. We've already seen this.
We also have Shadow, the second chat moderator who has left the program. He's pretty irrelevant at this point, mostly because nobody knows who the fuck he is or was. But the only reason I even mention him is because he's a believer of the idea that if it's not in Warframe, I can say whatever I want as a moderator, which obviously isn't the case.
Remember that one Angry Gamer article? Well, Shadow knew to end this tirade, he had to go to the source and weather the storm all by himself. One man alone to turn the tide in all the chat moderators' favor, as he himself is one. Or should I say was one. because I don't see how this is going to age well for him. This
Okay, what did he
comes
do?
across like the beginning of an anime. So allow me to read the words of Shadow-san Senpai, master of the blade and keyboard. This is my first account, by the way. I'm Shadow, the Warframe chat mod. I only signed on to comment how childish you all seem, while getting to relish the fact that I don't have to use the same etiquette and decorum that I do when actually moderating. It's really head-scratchingly stupid. Like, children whining that they don't get to eat paste. Me? Oversensitive? I was brought on to deal with the shit stains that inhabit region alongside the cool people. If people want to leave because they can't be as much of an as they can be somewhere else, then good f***ing riddance. I'll shed no tears. But we're not in Warframe region chat, so that means I can be as big of an as I want to be, which is great, because I feel constrained not being able to use my regular vernacular whenever I'm moderating. Ooh, nice fedora on that one. And sure, you can tell people to tough up all you want, but the fact of the matter is that some things just bother people. I get that. I don't know why other people don't, but whatever. The word, whoa, no, hard R. He went full on hard R.
Honestly, the only two explanations, besides just not caring, as to why DE has done little to nothing to fix their chat moderator problem, is that they either don't want to risk potentially upsetting the Tumblr crowd.
Okay, just real quick on that one. You can't on one hand say, I don't know why people get so bothered with why I don't know why people think that I'm so oversensitive. If they think that they can't get away with saying words and being assholes, they can just piss off and then go and do something else. You can't in one breath say that and then in the other breath go for the hard and oh my god, that is, oh my god, stop, please.
Oh no, hard R. He went full on hard R.
And then call yourself a moderator. You can't, oh god damn it, stop.
Besides just not caring, as to why DE has done little to nothing to fix their chat moderator problem, is that they either don't want to risk potentially upsetting the Tumblr crowd, even though the developers of Guild Wars 2 had no problems firing employees who acted out of line on Twitter, or they're deliberately not mentioning their chat moderators in hopes that everything will just blow over. For those wondering, moderators get their positions by being promoted from the guys of the Lotus program. So if you're wondering where or how our chat moderators got to where they are, DE Danielle's program is your answer. Now, I know what you're thinking. DE shouldn't care what their volunteers do or say outside of the game. If it's not in Warframe, it's outside of DE's jurisdiction. Well, not only would that also go against the moderator code of conduct, but that would make the decision against Fosternator make no sense. For those not aware, Fosternator was a former guide of the Lotus who was kicked from the program by DE Danielle for being part of a politically related conversation that led to insulting community members on Twitter. Without any opportunity to defend himself, or at least have a talk with DE before losing his position.
I woke up and I have a message on Discord from DE Danielle telling me, and you guys can probably see her on the screen, telling me that I have been kicked from the Guides of Lotus. And if you guys don't know what the Guides of Lotus are, they are this community that DE picks out these certain players through an application process very similar to getting a job. They pick certain players to help old and new players with the game and teach them things and generally not moderate. Keep everyone in the know, help everyone they can. And that's sort of what a Guide of Lotus is. If you've ever seen the sigil on people's chests or you've seen those fancy shoulders, then you know what I'm talking about. So if you guys don't know, I was one of those, or am. I'll get to that in a second. I was one of those, and I did a darn good job. But I got a message yesterday telling me that I had insulted community member. After I had read the message, I was not able to reply because I was kicked out of this special chat for guides on Discord, and without the ability to reply back, I was sitting there like, what do I do? Because I can't get in contact with Danielle. A little bit later, I did in fact get a message, a DM on Twitter. And so with this message, she had told me the same exact thing. And she had mentioned later after that as well that, oh yes, and I forgot to mention, you know, we left this message on the forum for you, but I didn't put that in the main message. No, that isn't important. You shouldn't be allowed to defend yourself. So I go over to the forums, and my forum message box here, and I tell her, I ask, ooh, so what happened? What's happening? Because I honestly had no idea, because I don't take my Twitter beefs and my everything else into Warframe when I'm doing the Guide of the Lotus thing. I always keep those two things separate, because I like to be incredibly nice to new players and all that, and that's the whole point. So basically, this message was, I can ask questions about why I've been kicked out, but I can't defend myself from getting kicked out, because they immediately had kicked me out of the Guides of the Lotus.
This matters because moderators don't just proof in or out of nothing. They come from the Guides of the Lotus program, which, as we all know, is a failure as well, because the only real way to get into the Guides of the Lotus program is to have friends who already guides recommend you. From that...
What? Hang on. Moderators have to be recommended from the guides. No way. No way. That sounds too stupid. That sounds too stupid. No way. Hang on. How to become Warframe chat moderator. Okay, here we go. Guides of the Lotus handpicked by Digital. Okay, so the Guides of the Lotus are handpicked by DE. Okay. Okay, there's nothing to say. Okay, fine. Let's assume that's true. I don't know, that just sounds too stupid.
To become a moderator. But nepotism doesn't exist in Warframe. That's just rumors. Okay then. In that case, please explain to me how Telluric just casually mentions going on a date with D.E. Danielle on his Tumblr. Please explain to me how it is that Server and Telluric, both of whom formerly dated each other, managed to both end up being guides on the Lotus and chat moderators.
Not the strongest point, I think, but okay, sure.
Get back to me when you can answer that one. Whether you like it or not, favoritism exists in Warframe. Let me bring up a recent example. This is Ashisogi Tenno, another Warframe content creator who has already been around slightly longer than I have, yet his audience is 2 times larger than mine. The biggest difference between the both of us is that he is not a Warframe partner, not because he hasn't applied, but because he hasn't been accepted. Is it because he doesn't meet the requirements? Between the both of us is that he is not a Warframe partner, not because he hasn't applied, but because he hasn't...
Okay, thank you for continuing interest in the Warframe Partner Program. After careful review and consideration, we are unable to accept your application at this time.
Been accepted.
That sucks.
Is it because he doesn't meet the requirements? No. He himself indicated that he meets all of them, yet his application denial has been unexplained.
Wait. Warframe Partner Program requirements. Okay, let's just have a real quick look. Have at least 2,000... So I'm fucked. Have a history of compelling Warframe content. Create weekly Warframe content. High quality content. What does that mean? Be a valuable addition to the war... What the hell? That's subjective. Have 2FA, that's cool. Your channel cannot violate or promote violation of the EULA or terms of services, contain illegal, racist, sexist, harmful... Okay, that's pretty stock standard. We offer a variety of programs to allow you to opt in, yada 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 yada. Okay, cool.
I mean, what the hell? He's been talking about Warframe for like the whole fucking 3 years of his YouTube career, and even tattooed his channel logo, with a freaking Warframe logo on it. Now that's dedication, not only to the game, but to his community in general.
It really is a mystery why Jizo isn't a partner yet. I mean, the guy's channel is freaking huge, his Discord is exploding, his community is super active, and he makes really positive videos. The fact I got partnered before him is actually a really big mystery to me because honestly, I always figured he would be partnered way before I did. I really
This must have
couldn't
been in
guess why
the
DE
time when I
doesn't
wasn't
wanna
actually
partner
playing
him
for a
at this
while.
point. The worst part
I'm
is
not
that they
aware of
don't
this.
tell him why he's not getting accepted. It's just the usual please try again later letter. Maybe it's because of his upload schedule, maybe it's because of his auto voice videos, I don't know.
Neither reason is likely. I use an yeah, Rahetalius uses text to speech, and Shy does as well. Is Shy still a Shy's still a Warframe partner. Rahetalius has gone inactive for months, because military reasons. Good for you. Partnership status and never been revoked or brought up by DE. Okay, cool. It can't be the negative stuff because Brozyme does quite a handful of negative, but really critical pieces. So, I mean, it can't be that either. I mean, I don't know.
We have no idea, and DE doesn't want to tell us anything regarding why. All I really know at this point is that if Jizo still really wants to be a partner, he's got to jump through some kind of loop because at this rate, he's going to need to have YouTubers either shout him out, give him some kind of like referral links or something because he's definitely reached the criteria to be a partner at least 6 times over at this rate.
Long before we had
Yep,
the
agreed.
partner program, we had the fan channel program, which had a lot more relaxed requirements, given that I was accepted to it back in 2006, when I didn't even have 500 subscribers. Time goes on.
Fuck, why didn't anyone tell me about this?
Eventually, DE decided to replace the fan channel program with the partner program. Everyone who was a channel fan, including myself, was transferred over to the partner program without a problem. In case you didn't know, I left the partner program twice. The first time was when I posted my I quit video, and the second time was when I requested to be removed because I was leaving for Navy basic training. Despite that, I was accepted almost immediately after I reapplied both times. Not only that, but back in 2018, my channel took an almost 6-month-long hiatus due to being deployed. And yet I was never removed or contracted by DE for being inactive. Keep in mind, I've uploaded plenty of videos where I've either bashed DE or some aspect of the game that they have made. Despite that,
Especially
do you know
Volban.
how many times DE has directly responded to me? Once. That was when I uploaded my Failures of Warframe video on the guides of the Lotus. And for those of you who are convinced that I'm
Alright, let's have a look at that email. You guys have a very hot topic of discussion, and we wanted to reach out in hopes of clearing up a few misconceptions. Danielle, who runs the guides, would love to chat with you more about the program and how it works. Obviously, this is quite a passionate subject for you, and we'd love the opportunity to clarify how the guides work. If you were interested, please let me know. She will be out of the office all week, but if you wanted to take some time to prepare some questions for when she returns, okay,
the
cool.
Lotus. And for those of you who are convinced that I'm just some toxic, salty Vauban player, let me just say that when it comes to behavior, I'm not the worst Warframe partner. Not by a long shot.
Shy.
So let's take a look at this dumbassery over here. When I was a mission in Hello Hotfix, and it's wave 31, and it's 2 minutes to restart.
Is that friggin' out? That's
You
HTTP.
dumbass bitch. You don't actually have to fucking leave for a hotfix. Bitch, are you stupid? Sounds like you're stupid to me. Because you can actually stay in that mission. You don't have to leave the mission just because a hotfix comes in. Sounds like you're new here. You might want to fucking learn. I always end up losing all of my progress. No bugs because you don't really explore the game. Bitch, you want to see no bugs because I don't explore the game? You fucking dumbass piece of shit. Let's take a look right here. Let's take a look at these stats. What are your stats in the game? Because I've got 5.34K.
This is too cringy. Let's move on. I don't want to watch this. It's too cringy.
Yosogi Tenno has not once been accepted to the partner program, for reasons that have yet to be explained. Despite all of that, Ashisogi Tenno has not once
Oh,
been
Ashisogi
accepted
Tenno. I
to
thought it said
the
he's
partner
this salty Tenno.
for reasons that have yet to be explained. And for the record, let me say this. Ashisogi Tenno is not my friend. I don't watch his content, and I don't care what he does with his channel. He himself has reached out to me, and I politely asked him to fuck off. I just think it's ridiculous for a channel such as his to be repeatedly rejected from the partner program without explanation.
He doesn't care what he does with his channel? Okay, fine, whatever. I'm not gonna go there.
That I myself have left and rejoined the program twice, even though my audience is smaller than his and my content isn't exactly friendly towards DE most of the time. I know what you're thinking.
Wait, hold on. The Warframe Discord. I know about this. I actually know about this. Oh my god, okay. Okay, the video is probably going to say the exact same thing or something similar to what I'm about to say, but I remember the following. I think this was about 2 years ago. For whatever reason, the Warframe Discord underwent this like giant shenanigan, this giant thing, to the point where I think it was like a mod on the Warframe Discord, or a bunch of mods on the Warframe Discord decided to start going like hyper crazy shit on everyone. Now, I wasn't affected by any of it, but I could see from all of the messages just coming in, like, oh my god, okay, clearly something's going wrong, right? So, the Warframe Discord split into two. I myself have actively gone with the new version of Warframe Discord because one of the administrators was someone who I actually joined an alliance with, and by alliance I mean clan alliance, so I was actually part of his clan alliance. I'm not going to name any names, sack that. So, as far as I can tell, the Warframe Discord has actually split in two. There's now something called War Chat, which is the new one, and I guess the Warframe official Discord, quote-unquote, still exists. Yeah. Now, as far as I can tell, there are DE people, there's DE folks in the Warframe, in War Chat, which is what it's called, as opposed to Warframe Discord, I guess. So, it's not like we have this super massive yet secret underground, Warframe Discord server, but yeah, we do also have some DE chat moderators. Okay, cool, awesome. But yeah, like, I don't know. This is some crazy shit, man. This was some real crazy stuff. All right, let's go.
What does the Warframe Discord have to do with any of this? More than
I may have explained it.
Actually, this requires some explanation.
Here we go.
The Warframe Discord was founded a long time ago by a fellow named Rednuka.
Yeah, that's someone I recognize.
To hand off his ownership of the Discord
And Lapis is
by the name of Tobiah. But before that could be done, Rednuka made the decision to temporarily give Discord ownership to Tobiah as a testing period. Tobiah has since then gone on to abuse his position as the owner of the...
I think Tobiah is a name that I recognize as well. Sorry, I don't know. I shouldn't have paused. That was stupid.
Going so far as insulting his own staff and claiming that he hasn't taken over the Discord. Tobiah is both a senior guide of the Lotus...
Wait, what was the big message? What was the big meme?
...over the Discord.
I don't know, maybe I'm overdriving other things, but it seems like a hostile takeover. You know, something's wrong with Misa. Mason is... Oh, this is Misandrous.
Tobiah is both a senior guide of the Lotus and the owner of the Warframe Community Discord, which is the largest Warframe-related Discord server that exists. He has several add-ons on the Warframe Discord.
This post has been taken down for obvious... Hi? Wait, hold on, what? That's a weird note.
Discord, which is the largest Warframe-related Discord server that exists. He has several add-ons on the Warframe Discord, such as bots and other types of commands, which supposedly cost him quite a bit, which is why he's opened a Patreon page for the Warframe Discord to cover some of the costs. However, being in charge of the largest Warframe Discord server that exists does have its benefits. So what does he do? He probably collects user data and uses it for his own personal use. Every message, image and video that you send on Discord is logged and can be looked at any time by both him and the moderation staff.
Isn't that normal? Like, is that really a problem? Like, having your messages logged so that you can have a look at stuff? Like, if you're putting a message in the Warframe Discord, that's
the rules
fine.
On the spot to moderate the Discord, even though he says he follows the Discord set rules that are listed. When people...
Who are we talking? We're talking about Tobiah, right? That's his name, right? Tobiah.
Go to the Warframe subreddit to complain, Reddit mods state the following. It's technically the Discord set rules that are listed. When people go to the Warframe subreddit to complain, Reddit mods state the
Weird mod behavior on the Warframe Discord has apparently been removed under the relevance law. Discord server is a Warframe community, but there is nothing about DE at all in the game. Or the game in the topic. We all know the servers are down. We all know there's whatever decisions that's... Shit. Alright. Oh boy. Okay. Let me just write this note. Alright. Some of you may not know this, but I was once, for a very short period of time, until I was kicked from being a Reddit moderator because I was actually very inactive, which is fair enough. I was once a Reddit moderator on Warframe. This that you see here, I don't know, this seems really unusual to me. This seems really, really strange, because Dark Star Chimera, from everything that I've seen from him on the Reddit moderator Discord chat, my impression of him or her was that they were actually a really active and responsible, to some extent, moderator. Obviously, it looks like moderators in general seem to have a bit of a shit show going on anyway, but my impression, I didn't get any like bad vibes from this particular individual. So, just reading this response, the idea that they seem to have gone for some random cookie cutter response, talking about servers being down. I don't know, that seems weird. And whatever decisions the Discord moderator and team make are neither relevant to the game nor the subreddit. Are they? Especially because actions taken there don't affect anyone's account in-game or their actions here on Reddit.
It's technically true that whatever the Warframe Discord staff does is irrelevant
seems a bit weird.
to Warframe Reddit staff. But it cannot be overlooked that regardless of whatever petty or minuscule acts committed by Tobiah or any other Discord mod are, it's still something that affects the community. What do you think happens when a chat moderator does something shitty in-game? It gets recorded, and whoever happens to be affected complains to other people or on the subreddit, which in turn spreads awareness of whatever shitty thing was done. The same thing can be said for the Warframe Discord. Just because it's not a DE officially endorsed place of discussion like the subreddit or forums doesn't mean it's irrelevant. That would be...
Obviously that logic is sound, because you can then extend that to things like, say, IGN community, IGN comment boards and all that shit. So like it's not a bad idea that any discussion Warframe related should be full game, open game, whatever. You know what I mean.
Be like saying that the Warframe subreddit is a useless place for discussion just because it's not moderated by DE staff. Keep in mind, everything on this Discord is not sanctioned by DE. The Warframe Discord is not an official one from DE. Thus, it is entirely under Tobiah's jurisdiction.
It's not? What? Hold on. What? Is that so? Wow. Okay, I didn't know that. That's weird. I could have sworn it was. Because I think I can't remember where I came across that Discord server. Somehow I feel like I came across that Discord server from a link in the official website, but I'm clearly I'm wrong. That can't be true, right? That can't be true, right? No, that can't be right. Tweets. We've got some tweets. No, we've got some tweets, community, fan sites, partners, volunteers, wiki. So the wiki is linked. Okay. So the wiki is linked. That's interesting. Social feeds, support, referral program, fan sites. Fan sites? Fan sites. Wikia, hub frame, 10 o'clock news. That's okay. Warframe builder. Warframe builder. Okay. Community Discord servers. Warframe Discord. Okay. Hang on. I'm going to join this Discord. Cetus times Jakey Prime. Wait. Hold on. Is this the one? Official Warframe partner. King Wobbly. Oh, he's not wrong. Fuck. Well, we're not wrong that it's the biggest one, but this is the one, right? I feel like we're gonna get some duck disease in here. Anyway, I can't check for sure, but this has to be the one, right? I have actually joined the one. Interesting. Shit, there's way too many people here. A lot of people have decided to start their fucking IGNs with PC. Oh, you bastards. You bastards. All the D... Okay. I don't know, man. If it might be a fan site, but if it's linked in the main page, that sounds to me like it's an official-ish thing. Like, it doesn't have to be an official thing, but it does sound like an official thing. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it. I'm fine with war chat. Real talk. I'm actually fine with war chat. Genesis, what do you have to say? Make sure to read the deleted channel. It has lots of deleted channel. Okay, don't care. Alright, let's continue.
And whoever he picks as moderators for his server. Although DE employees are members of the Discord, they do not officially sanction the Discord. However, do you want to know who he has on his Discord moderator roster? Yeah, he only accepts friends or people who kiss his ass. Once on the staff team, if you do anything that goes against him, he marks you as a criminal, and while he cannot demote you on that alone, he treats you like you are beneath him and don't contribute anything to the team. However, if you keep kissing his ass, then you're basically untouchable, even if you do something that would result in punishment or demotion that should normally be given. Why is Tobiah even a guide on the Lotus? Is it just because he owns the largest Warframe Discord? According to Telluric, yes.
I can also rescind my offer of recommendation. I had intended to do so since Rebecca was apparently going to push him through. Who the fuck is he talking about? And since I trust her, I decided to assist with his application. However, if he's telling the truth and she plans to get him in just like that, I know that Danielle is not going to like it, all of the other guides are not going to like it, and our sect of moderators is not going to like it. You don't get to be a guide just because you own a Discord server? Wait, Telluric is saying this? Okay.
I honestly feel terrible for having endorsed this place. Don't get me wrong, I've met and interacted with a lot of wonderful players, but this isn't a Discord server you should be a part of. If anything, the Warframe Discord is a place I would advise you and everyone else to stay far, far away from.
I have already stayed far away from it.
Not just because of what goes on behind the scenes, but because the Discord owner himself does whatever he wants with no repercussion. Because again, it's not an official Warframe Discord by DE. At the end of the day, this is what we had and have as guides and moderators. An edgelord, a social justice psychopath, an asshole, an identity-shifting tumble arena, a man-child, and at the root of it all, DE themselves. Keep in mind that DE Danielle is in charge of the guides of the Lotus program, where moderators originally come from. So by doing nothing about our chat moderators, she essentially started the problem, which is being perpetuated by DE's lack of action. There have also been cases against DE Danielle for banning people whenever she pleases for whatever reason she decides. So that's something else to keep in mind.
What? That seems pretty nutso. Hold on. What was that point?
There have also been cases against DE Danielle for banning people whenever she pleases for whatever reasons she decides.
Okay, a bit of context from where I learned how bad this is. A few years ago, a guy I was friends with at the time, who was Frost Prime, okay, actual Frost Prime, got into a kerfuffle with Navy Blue Panda, who the hell is that, in a relay by doing nothing more than standing in the same spot as their player character, okay? Back then the relay had an issue where the camera, unlike the player's character, still had clipping. This caused the camera to behave like you had your back to the wall where someone was occupying the same space. Given how active the relays were all the time, this was a fairly normal experience of Frost Prime. When Frost Prime passed through Navy Blue Panda, they took offense and told him off for it. Okay, Frost being the childish guy he is, okay, so Frost is not innocent in this, but whatever. Frost Prime being the childish guy he is, dared to talk back and taunt a little bit before getting back to his business. Taunt thee a bit. Okay, I'm guessing there's supposed to be a slur there. Whatever. Here's where things get sticky. Like Mason, Navy Blue Panda is not a local guide of the Locust. She's assigned to the Oceania service. People. Whereas this took place in the US service. Navy Blue Panda was also, notorious for always being followed around by a flock of flunkies. From what I've heard, these flunkies mass reported Frost for harassing a group. At this point, we've got reports of a user harassing a moderator by standing in their character. Okay, let's say that's worthy of a suspension. How long is reasonable for something like that? Well, according to a guide of the according to a guide of the Lotus, another one of my friends talked about this to DE Danielle, who had decided it was worth a permanent... What? That can't be right. What's more, she apparently had decided the moment she saw the reports. Okay. That's a clenching moment, guys. Best part about this, Frost decided to try and appeal this by getting into contact with a more reasonable guide of Lotus. He succeeded, of course. Nothing about the ban was reasonable. When my other friend and I learnt of this success, we advised caution and to avoid the relays on the off chance that any present guide of Lotus might find some reason to reapply the ban. Frost was never one to listen to anyone's advice, so he dared to venture. I mean, he's got to spend his ducats somehow, right? He was spotted by a guide of the guide of the Lotus almost immediately, and as soon as word got back to Dean and Danielle, he was permanent banned again. The ban was never supposed to be removed, and you had no clue how that could ever happen. Okay. I'm going to take everything with a grain of salt, but let's assume that this is correct. Let's assume that this is an accurate... Let's assume this is an accurate recounting of the facts, and assuming this is an accurate recounting of the facts, we are going to have to call out Danielle on an omega yikes right here. That's a massive problem. That's assuming everything here is correct. If that's the case, oh my god, this is not good. This is really, really bad. Holy shit. To brush against a guide of the Locust, fuck, why am I saying this wrong? To brush against a guide of the Lotus, and then to get mass reported. The mass reporting, I'm pretty sure that is against terms and conditions. I'm not going to look around for it. I don't know where in the terms and conditions I can find that, but I'm pretty sure mass reporting or getting a group of people to mass report someone, that obviously is a very big accusation to make. And it's actually I would say it's a reasonable accusation to make, provided everything in this post is correct, okay? We are assuming everything in this post is correct. So if he did brush against a guide of the Lotus, and then got permabanned for it, I think it's safe to say that he got mass reported by a guide of the Lotus, which I would assume is a terms of service violation, or at least a terms of the guide of the Lotus thing violation. So, perma. So I'm gonna put a note there. Perma banned someone after mass reporting of them doing something. That's harmless. That is actually harmless.
Decides. So that's something else to keep in mind.
Alright, here we go. The message to DE. Here we go.
Assuming that DE is watching this video right now,
They are.
there's 3 things
Well,
you
they
need
were.
to do in order to fix everything and make the player base happy. It's incredibly simple. Trust me. Step 1. Remove server and Missan from their chat moderator positions. As has been shown with Telluric's actions, none of these people are fit or even good choices to be chat moderators. Given that they themselves believe they can decide what is and isn't alright to say, when that's up to DE to decide, not them. You already have a third party assisting you with chat moderation, so removing 2 chat moderators shouldn't matter. There's absolutely no excuse to keep them around after what they've done. Telluric and Shadow have at the very, very least had the decency to step away from the chat moderator program. Meanwhile, Missan has been changing usernames in hopes that people will just forget about her. And Server has, for the most part, stopped being an asshole. With that in mind, stripping both of them of their moderator privileges and roles is all that matters. I could care less if they get banned or not. All that matters is that they have their moderator position removed. Step 2. Cut off your affiliation with the Warframe Discord.
Agreed.
Epic Games
100% agreed.
into the realm of legal problems, and there's no reason for DE to follow. It's obvious that Tobias not going to stop what he's doing, given that he's been at it for years now. But the very minimum that can be done is for DE to cut all ties and affiliation with the Warframe Discord. This type of activity from a senior guide of the Lotus
And affiliate with what? I don't know. No, don't affiliate with WarChat. That's a dumb idea.
According to you, guides are supposed to be role models. If this is your definition of a role model, I'm incredibly disappointed.
About Telluric, I don't even understand why people are trying to defend him. He pleaded for money and he really needed okay, which is okay, but he also promised to pay them back. If he's pleading for people to get money over the internet, you'd have to have a real damn good reason for that. To my knowledge, he didn't pay them back at all. He owes them thousands of dollars. This is why. This is fucking why. Instead of putting his money to good use, he buys a game that he can't even play, buys Warframe Prime Access deals when he could, and when he could get most of the content for free, puts off buying glasses that he knows he needs, then starts to drive.
Step 3. Get rid of the guides of the Lotus program. The majority of the players have absolutely no clue what guides even do or where to find them. Nothing of value would be lost by getting rid of the program entirely, except the feelings of those who joined only for the feeling of being part of an exclusive club. Plus, it's already been beaten to death why nobody can take guides seriously. So you aren't really losing anything by disbanding the program entirely. If having a volunteer-based program is really important to you, then all you have to do is purge every single guide you have. Rebrand the Guides of the Lotus program to Guides of the Lotus 2.0 or something else, and start fresh. Starting fresh is important, because if you bring back everyone who was part of the old program, you're basically bringing back the same old problems. That's all that needs to be said. I love this game, I really do. It's just that seeing things be managed this way is disheartening. Given that all you've done so far with every update on the chat moderators is just acknowledge there's an issue or say you're changing things, despite the fact that you haven't punished or even mentioned Server, Missan, or Telluric. So far, you've just given us as the players...
You don't have to name names, actually. That's not necessarily a good idea, to name names. Especially as a company, I would actually recommend against naming names. Let's just hear what he just said.
Just acknowledge there's an issue or say you're changing things, despite the fact that you haven't punished or even mentioned Server, Missan, or Telluric.
Because DE is a company, I would actually recommend against... I think, okay, I'm saying this not as a business lawyer or anything, but I think it would look really, really bad Like, it would look good to everyone who doesn't like who doesn't like them, obviously, but to the outside, what we're going to end up seeing is, oh my god, DE just straight up publicly shamed some of their moderators for being assholes. Oh my god, I can't believe DE is a company that would publicly shame people for being assholes. Like, okay, people are going to hate me for this, but here we go. This is going to, they're going to end up with the exact same problem as when they sued the guy who was doing, what's it called? Data mining. They straight up, like, that's a public thing to, like, straight up call out a dude for data mining. So, yeah, like, it's the same, like, you can disagree with me all you want, but I'm pretty sure we're going to find ourselves in the same scenario where they call out someone for doing something wrong, but as a company, they're publicly naming a person for doing something wrong. So I would not recommend, like, naming it, but punishing them by getting rid of their moderator status. I think that would be a good idea. Just maybe ease on the naming.
So far, you've just given us as the players the impression that you don't even want to mention the elephant in the room. And if you absolutely, seriously, 100% want to show that you care about what the players think and say, you're going to have to at some point. Actions speak louder than words, after all. Thank you for watching.
Okay, that's it. Cool. Alright. Okay, let's bring up those notes. These are all the notes that I've written throughout the entire thing. Half an hour's worth. Boy. There are some big yikes that we need to address. Alright, so I started off basically, like, summarizing what he was saying, but obviously that didn't work at all. So, whatever. So, what we know is that there are two mods, Shadow Tiller, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 moderators that are of interest. Okay? Shadow Telluric, Misandrus or Missan, Tobiah, D.E. Bear, and Shadow. Okay, what we know is Shadow and Telluric were assholes. Actually, we're gonna straight up get rid of this because it turns out that this is actually going to get covered in everything else. So the big question is this sort of cover-up, which the video does seem to provide enough evidence that there is actually a cover-up. I'm pretty satisfied with that. So that's going to be a bit of a problem, and I think DE are going to be actively fixing it. I'm only going off the official responses, which are like, they are still very cookie-cutter responses, the kind of, like, almost politician-level responses, like, oh, we are trying to do better. So, yeah, it's a bit of a shit situation, but whatever. Chat mods and Guides of the Lotus have problems. I'm actually going to cover that later, so we're going to get rid of that one. And like I said, DE's general cookie-cutter response, that's obviously not helping anyone, but at the same time, as we see at the end of the video, the call to go whole, like super deep into it with a response, I think that's actually going to cause a massive problem as well. Okay. Oh, and I just realized that what I'm saying might actually get this response. No, this has nothing to do with the community of the people who are doing something bad. Okay, this is all from a business perspective, I say, as not a businessman. So I'm kind of guessing at it, but based on things that I have seen where a company straight up attacks someone, and I do mean attack someone, which I think is what Rahetalius is kind of suggesting. When a company straight up goes at someone for doing something wrong, there's going to be some ramifications. Like, it's just going to, and those ramifications, they're going to actually be pretty bloody severe. So I would really put a hard cap on it. It might even be legal stuff. I don't know. if anyone is a lawyer or if you know a lawyer, feel free to ask him and put a response in the video, in the comments. I'm open to anything, really. I don't know much about law. I can only guess. Okay, what we know about Telluric is that person left over mental health, left by himself. I actually don't need to have this last point right here. That's cool. For Rahetalius, the tweet that showed the problem with Telluric, it would be nice if you actually included the name of the person on the tweet, because that, like, just showing from the tweet down and, like, cutting off the name, that's kind of sus. Just saying. Alright, apparently moderated more to play, and that's going to be a big red flag right there. Brags about being a mod, that's apparently against terms of service. Draws loot stuff, even though I think the reason why I wrote that down is because they themselves don't like people drawing lewd shit. So that's going to be some hypocrisy, maybe? Ask people to pay for his stuff, as in crowdfunding. So I think the idea was that they were crowdfunding. Anyway, this whole thing is fucking meaningless. Okay, the selling unofficial merchandise that isn't officially licensed by DE. That's going to be a very, very, very big problem. Now, obviously, if you're selling fan art, that's perfectly fine. If you straight up drew something from scratch, as opposed to using like one-to-one correlation in-game stuff, that's going to be a massive problem right there. Like, even people who do fan art, no, I'm pretty sure you're allowed to sell fan art, but what was shown in the video, I would not count that as fan art. I wouldn't. Just a quick thing, the SJW points seem really out of place and totally unnecessary. And the Chairman Mao points seem really unnecessary until we get to Misson, so we'll get there soon. Okay, obviously the idea that Telluric went out on a date with DE Danielle, that's going to be some conflict of interest. That's going to be a problem. And I don't know, like, yeah, that's instantly conflict of interest. Now, whether or not that went into consideration when this person became a mod, that's irrelevant. Doesn't matter. Like, it's straight up conflict of interest. That's just how it works. So, yeah, that's really dangerous. Okay, let's talk about Missan or Misandrous or whatever the hell. I think the name itself is enough to give away what kind of person this person is. Clearly, with the name Misandrous, we're talking about a 100% man hater. Anyway. Made the Chairman Mao point relevant because they named their cat Chairman Mao. What the fuck? Oh my god. As a Chinese, I'm Chinese, and even I'm like, oh my god, that's really cringy. What the fuck? Okay, leaked Valkyria Prime. That's a massive no-no. If Misson was a chat moderator, leaked Valkyria Prime, and then continued to be a chat moderator afterwards, that's going to be a huge red card right there. I'm gonna have to actually call. I'm gonna actually have to say whoever decided to keep that person on the chat moderation team needs to be out. Like, that's a horrendous call. Like, right, that's a really bad call. Especially, like, I would even go so far as, since Misson is still a chat moderator, DE should actually just straight up sue him, because leaking things is apparently something that DE will sue you for. Case in point, the data miner, because I'm pretty sure the reason why was because the data miner was leaking stuff through the data mines. That's how we knew of various primes. So if a chat moderator is just straight up like leaking Valkyria Prime, that's not good. That's liable. That has to be liable. That can't be. You can't let that go. No, hell no. Now Mr. made gender swap stuff, and that's not a big deal. Rule 63, apparently, that's a new rule. Rule 63 stuff, I don't think is a big deal at all. Except, I think the reason why I wrote that down is because Mr. didn't like people making transgender stuff. Right? I don't know. I'll have to watch. I'm not gonna watch the video again. But I wrote that down because that seems to be a bit of a problem. Yeah. And at the same time, chat moderation fiasco being a public thing on Newsweek. Okay. Yeah, when a video game shows up in like normie news, that's when you kind of have to think, oh shit, did something go wrong? Like, I'm pretty sure Sydney Morning Herald is not going to talk about video games unless someone got swatted. The whole circumventing the Neja trap thing, I've already given my take on this. This one, I actually think if you're getting banned for saying Neja is a trap, and you're complaining that you got banned for saying Neja is a trap in regional chat, knowing full well that's going to ban you, that's you walking into a brick wall. Now you can disagree or agree that something like that should get you banned. But if you're like doing everything you can to circumvent that, you are going out of your way to do something that is already proven to like not be good. As a direct result, that's on you, dude. That is actually on you. And I don't know if I'm gonna get any comments about this, but I'll say it anyway. The whole Neja trap fiasco meme, if you want to call it, I'm fine with it getting banned because it's such a stupid fucking thing to say. Holy shit, just stop, guys. Come on. First off, the meme is like 3 years old, so you're not even... when did Neja come out? Shit. Neja Warframe came out... update 18.1. Update 18.1. Is that this one? Nope. 18.0? 18. Ring of Fire. 3 years old. I was actually right. The Neja trap meme is like 3 years old. So first off, you're saying something that's fucking old as shit. And the second thing is... the word trap is actually like... a slur against the transgender community. Whether or not you agree with that, doesn't matter. Okay? The word trap has been used in slur and very offensive ways. It's kind of like saying the hard N, which I'll get to in a bit, but it's the same idea, man. So, really, if you're going to use that, just know that you're gonna get coned. Like that seems really obvious to me. Like, that's why I don't say it. I don't go out of my way to not say it, because I just don't say it. Also, it's irrelevant, so whatever. Now, keep in mind, I will sometimes like make fun of people who... Well, I don't... Keep in mind, I do make use of the joke outside of regional chat when I just draw up a trap card, but otherwise, I generally don't talk about this. Yeah. I definitely don't talk about Neja anyway. Far out. Such a bullshit thing to talk about. Okay. Let's talk about Shadow for a real quick moment. Who is Shadow? No idea. I don't know who he is. Obviously, Shadow going on some forum or some Discord saying, I'm a chat mod. I'm here to tell you I'm childish, and that because this isn't a Warframe chat, I can just be an authoritarian piece of crap. That's going to be a big yikes right there. And for obvious reasons, using the N word with the hard R, that's going to be a no-no. So he's left by himself, so that's good, I guess. Yeah. Alright, for some reason I didn't actually write anything about server, but I think a lot of the things that I have that were brought up about server are linked to all of these other mods, so there's no real need. Tobiah is the owner of the old Warframe Discord. I've already talked about him during the video, but once again, he's the old owner of the Warframe Discord. I wasn't affected by anything that he did, personally. I myself rather, but I saw enough messages like going all over the place. Oh my god, this guy is such a massive like authoritarian piece of shit. Holy crap! Like why is he constantly like doing this shit? Oh my god! Yet again, Tobias strikes again. Oh, or something to that effect. And also, I think the moderators there, like not the owner, but like the moderators under the owner, were also like stirring some shit. That's kind of why the Warframe Discord split in half. So yeah, like no, I don't particularly like the old Warframe Discord either. Apparently he's a dick as well. What a cunt. And there's 2 examples of him having nepotism. Now, does that immediately mean that he is a 100% nepotistic person? Is that even a word? Does that mean he's a 100% nepotistic person? No. That alone doesn't prove it. But when you couple that with his behavior, as demonstrated both in the video and in the things that I was talking about, it's not that much of a cheeky pun stretch to suggest that he is in fact a nepotist. Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know, judging by everything that we know about Telluric now, the idea that even Telluric doesn't like him, that's gonna be a big yikes from me. Okay, moving on. Fostinator was a guide of the Lotus, but was part of a bad conversation. Now, here's the thing: I think we've all been in some pretty horrendous conversations. Horrendous conversations where someone says something really, really heated, another person responds in an equally heated way, assuming everything that Fostinator has said is correct and accurate, assuming he's given us a very accurate recounting of the events that led up to him getting kicked out of Guides of the Lotus. There's no reason for him to get kicked out of Guides of the Lotus. Between that and not being able to defend himself, apparently, that's not a good look. That's really bad. Yeah. Okay. But on the other hand, zero tolerance is potentially a good policy. I mean, you are meant to be a role model, so I'm sort of okay with the zero tolerance, but the zero tolerance, zero accountability that Fostinator seems to find himself having to deal with, that part is actually going to be that's a problem. Okay, that's going to be a problem. Right. Now let's talk about DE. 2 things that I didn't know now make me realize why people think the Guides of the Lotus are a massive joke. Moderators come from Guides of the Lotus. Who thought this was a good idea? This is too stupid. This seems too stupid to be true. Chat moderators come from the Guides of the Lotus. That cannot be correct. No. That's way too dumb. That's way too dumb. No. I'm almost refusing to believe that. That's too stupid. To put it in perspective, let's put it in an analogy. The Guides of the Lotus are essentially a group of... well, they're guides, that's really what they are. The Guides of the Lotus are a group of people who are somehow important, but not effective. They don't really do much. Especially since there are people all over the game, like Warframe YouTubers, people who hang around Larunda Relay, on PC at least, who help everyone on a nearly constant basis anyway. When you're a new player in the game, you're not going to find yourself lacking anyone who's who's going to help you. The Warframe community has always been one of the most friendly communities, in the sense that everyone is happy to help you learn the game and understand a lot of stuff. Guides of the Lotus, therefore, not particularly useful. But from them, and only from them apparently, come the chat moderators, which now hold a very significant amount of power. An insane amount of power. What other vetting is there? I have actually seen a couple of guides. I became sort of friendly with a guide who hung around Larunda as an Equinox. I haven't seen him since, because I think he's stopped playing for a while? I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. But I have seen Guides of the Lotus. This is true. And that guide was helpful, just so you know. Now, what was I talking about? Guides of the Lotus. So, chat moderators come from the Guides of the Lotus. So, people who have a lot of power to ban people from a chat come from a group of people who are otherwise not necessary. That sounds really stupid. The second thing is that moderators have to be recommended by moderators. Shit. Moderators have to be recommended by other moderators. That's a terrible idea. To put it in an analogy, if you will, that's like basically saying the police have to recommend you to be a cop. Therefore, the people who have power and authority get to choose who gets power and authority in a chat. And if that is true, no kidding, we're going to come across this insane authoritarian system where you have people abusing their power. That's a given. So whoever came up with that idea, that's a really, really bad idea. Just hell to the no. Just no. The moderators coming from the Guides of the Lotus, if it was just by itself, that might be okay, because at least there is maybe a logic to it where, alright, these guys have proven that they are very, very helpful to new players. Let's give them the opportunity to maybe help us sort out our text chat. Okay, fine, whatever. I don't necessarily agree with that, but whatever, okay? Whatever. But if moderators are choosing who from the Guide of the Lotus gets to be a moderator, nah, that's a terrible system. Whoa, holy crap, 3 people. That's more than ever. That's going to be a big problem right there. Just no. And the story of someone who got permabanned after someone mass reported. So I'm gonna ask everyone in the chat, everyone who's watching right now, are you aware of the story of the guy who got permabanned after someone mass reported them for doing something harmless? I don't want to repeat myself because I actually talked about this when I was watching the video. Let me know. But 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, cool. Let's talk about it. So basically, okay, cool. You don't know about it. Okay, so apparently a guy brushed against a Guide of the Lotus in the game. So this is in Larunda Relay. This is like early Larunda Relay, back when the camera was really, really buggy. Sometimes you would find that if you are up against a wall, PS4 player, cool. All right. Hey, welcome, new player? I don't know. Anyway, this is back in Larunda Relay. So, so you're a PS4 player, so you don't know what Larunda Relay is. Larunda Relay is the Mercury Relay on PC, okay? That's what that is. Right. So, apparently a player brushed up against a Guide of the Lotus in Larunda Relay. Now, this was early Larunda Relay where the camera would like sort of zoom behind you, and it will just sort of bug out a little bit if anyone walked behind you. It still kind of does that these days, but it's a lot better than it used to, okay? Back then, it would do it a lot. And it was rather annoying, and it would happen every time someone went right behind you, because the game would just think, oh crap, there's a wall now. But they've mostly fixed it. I do see it from time to time, especially if I'm sort of standing on the stairs, I think. But it's not nearly that bad, as bad anymore. Okay? It does happen on Cetus and Fortuna as well. Alright, anyway, moving on. So this guy brushed up against a Guide of the Lotus, sort of went right through them, as you kind of do. You just clip through a player in the game, that's fine, whatever. That Guide of the Lotus then called him out for it, for reasons. So number one, the Guide of the Lotus decided to build to the same vibes. Oh, you guys built Lorunda? So you guys built... Oh, okay, so PS4 built Lorunda after we built Strata. Interesting. Okay, cool. I didn't know that. Anyway, so this guy brushed against a chat moderator in Lorunda. Doesn't matter where they are. Brushed up against the chat moderator. Not the chat moderator, rather. A Guide of the Lotus. The Guide of the Lotus then called him out. Now this guy was a bit childish. Taunted them a little bit. Fine, whatever. Responded to someone calling them out. And then moved on. But afterwards, he got permabanned. He got permabanned by a member of DE, who was named in the video, but I'm not going to name... Oh, I guess I probably can. Whatever. Got banned by Danielle. Brought it up with another Guide of the Lotus, who believed, rightly so in fact, assuming... Now this is assuming that the recounting of the events is accurate from some third-party person who had a chat with the guy in question. The player in question, rather. So the player in question talked to another Guide of the Lotus who agreed that he shouldn't have been banned, lifted the ban, and then when he walked into Lorunda Relay again, got spotted by another Guide of the Lotus who I guess told the Guides of the Lotus, who then told Danielle, who then permabanned him again. Saying the permaban shouldn't have been lifted, don't know what happened. That appears to be the story. So, yeah. Like, one of the accusations made in the story is that the Guide of the Lotus got a bunch of his or her followers to mass report this particular player. And judging by how this story went, I'm inclined to believe that is true, because the offense is very minor, yet the appears to be very minor anyway. Yet the response to it via permabanning, that's a massive, that's a huge hammer to just drop, right? So I think his second time, just for going to the yes. He went to the relay, he got spotted by a Guide of the Lotus, apparently. That Guide of the Lotus then must have told... I'm guessing here now. Must have told the other Guides of the Lotus, and then eventually Danielle found out and rebanned him. It's not really a second ban. He didn't exactly get... I don't think he got banned a second time. It's just the first ban that got lifted and then reapplied. Does that make sense? So he didn't get banned a second time, per se. But, yeah, I think he got mass reported. Which means we have a Guide of the Lotus who mass reports people. Which I would have expected, just from, I don't know, common fucking sense, that is something that should get you kicked out of being a Guide of the Lotus. No? And I would even go so far as to say that should probably get that person banned from the game as well. Just saying. Alright, we've been spending 2 hours at this. I've been live for 2 hours. Take away 10 minutes for, like, finishing up the dishes. So I've been at it for about an hour and 40 minutes. Ooh. Let's just wrap this up. So the final thing is Rahetalius. Okay. Let's bring up a tweet. From D.E. Steve. let's bring up a tweet from Steve. A tweet that I am actually going to disagree with now. Steve, quote. Person is going about his own... Yeah, feel free to, like, write it all down, and then I'll tell you if you are more or less accurate with the account. This is after the video. Whoa, whoops. This is after the video. Quote, your critique has always been welcome, but I cannot abide personal attacks against my team. Shameful. I hope you fix this. Okay. The only truly personal attacks that I have seen in this video were against the moderators in question. These ones. Maybe DE Bear? Do you count him as part of your team, Steve? I don't know. Missan, Telluric, Shadow, Tobiah. Tobiah is technically not part of his team. He's part of the Warframe Discord. But, point is, I thought that there were going to be personal attacks against everyone on the team. No. I don't agree with this. I don't think that happened. I didn't see anything that would remotely look like it was a personal attack against the DE team. Against DE the company, obviously, Rahetalius has called out DE the company for some pretty bad... This is 100% true, but not the team, and not personal attacks. Oh, crap! Specifically was Danielle talking about some of the things that Danielle, with evidence, appears to have done. So... yeah, this is not a good take, Steve. I'm sorry, my dude. Yeah, not a good take. Alright, let's just move on, because that's actually going to get really depressing real quick. Okay, so, Rahetalius has come up with 3 ways to, yeah, okay. Hold on. Never saw the DC. I was having a look at this, I was having a look at the stream. Yeah, no, the stream didn't actually DC per se, because OBS is able to reconnect and just send old stuff forward, so that's really good. Alright, cool, awesome. It probably helps that I'm on a... oh, I see, what, 12-second delay? Okay, apparently I increased the delay as well. It increases the delay. Okay, never mind. Okay, Rahetalius came up with 3 ways to fix this entire thing. Which I agree with, but I think I said that there was a caveat to one of the things that he's talked about. Okay, first off, delete server and Missan from moderation. Server, this 100% agree. Like, all of the evidence that has been presented in this video, I think is enough to suggest that these two are really, really bad at moderating, and they are being really, really authoritarian with their moderating powers, and thus they are abusing the power that they have been given. So it makes sense that they should be kicked. So that's good. Of course, once again, I will reiterate something that I said at the end of the video. Punishment of Server and Missan should be made public for everyone to know that this has been taken care of. 100%. There should be a forum post eventually. It's like, hey guys, we have sorted out a massive problem that has been brought to our attention. It should say something like that. We have had a chat moderator problem that has been brought to our attention. We have officially dealt with it by removing the moderators in question. Thank you for your understanding. Yada 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 yada. That's all they should say, because this would go against the other part of what Rahetalius was saying, which is Rahetalius? Oh my god, I think I'm saying his name wrong, or saying it all wrong. Anyway, this is because the other half of what he was saying was they should probably mention that they are deleting Server and Missan, like specifically deleting Server and Missan, therefore naming names. Obviously, that's a really, really bad idea, because they are a company naming names. I would most certainly not do that. Like, I would really caution against that. That seems really, really dangerous. Okay. Second thing is to delete the Warframe Discord link in the website. That's obviously a really, really good idea, because the Warframe Discord that is linked there is a fucking piece of shit. So I left it for reasons. If you want to know what those reasons are, they're in the middle of the stream. Go nuts. And finally, deleting the Guides of the Lotus. I think we can all agree that the Guides of the Lotus are redundant. So I can see why DE wants to make this a thing, though. So I think to add on that, how would we fix the Guides of the Lotus? Obviously, we have to start fresh. And then the second thing we should probably do... I don't know. The first problem with the Guides of the Lotus is finding the people who are actually good to be Guides of the Lotus. First you have to determine who's actually choosing the Guides of the Lotus. Now apparently Danielle is the one who have Guides of the Lotus. Obviously Danielle is the one who's dealing with the Guides of the Lotus now. And while she should keep dealing with the Guides of the Lotus, if and when a new Guides of the Lotus decide to show up, there has to be a better... I think it has to be like a team of people who are actively vetting and checking. In other words, D needs to actually have a group of people who are actively monitoring the activities of the Guides of the Lotus. This is something that, for example, the Warframe subreddit owner would do regularly, or at least have a team that regularly monitors what the subreddit moderators do. So I think DE should do that. Have a team of people who regularly monitor everything that the moderators do. That could be one way. Another way, possibly, would be if everything that a moderator does, a chat moderator anyway, or a Guide of the Lotus even. Oh, hang on, I'm talking about Guide of the Lotus, aren't I? Sorry, everything. So, have a team of people who sort of keep an eye on everything that a Guide of the Lotus does and says and all that stuff. That's fine. And also choose who the Guides of the Lotus are. Now, they don't need to really be moderated all that much because they're Guides of the Lotus. What the hell are they going to do, huh? They might say some dumb shit and then obviously, like Fostinator, they get kicked. Fine, whatever. Now, the Guides of the Lotus. Sorry, not the Guides of the Lotus, the chat moderator. Now, the chat moderation team, I think that's okay. If you want to, like, grab some people from the community to be chat moderators, that's fine. But you need to be really, really careful about that, and two ways you could possibly be really careful about that, and you can criticize these ways all you want in the comments, because do I look like someone who's ever run something massive before? I don't know. I'm just making it up. Two ways you could do this. First off, you could have the team that deals with the Guides of the Lotus also deal with the chat moderation team, and that obviously will save some resources, yada yada yada. But you can have that team, like, regularly and constantly, almost constantly, monitor what the chat moderators do, so that, like, anything that the chat moderation team does that is considered no, like a hard no, the DE team can officially, like, put in some oversight and, like, kick out the ones who are easily abusing their power. Now, obviously, we could find ourselves in a similar situation to what we have now, where the DE team, as one of my chatters, as Ethan says here, the DE team would have personal bias, they're friends with the moderators, yada yada yada. So obviously, we could find ourselves in the same situation with this favoritism. So, okay, cool. In that case, we can go for the second idea, where chat moderation, having guides, monetary system creates too long, creates an ego. Yeah, that's true. Obviously, that goes back to the whole moderators become become moderators. That's a fucking retarded idea. Oh, number two, moderators do not come from guides. and by extension, moderators moderators can't be moderators with. Sorry, fuck. It's late. Let's try that again. First off, moderators can't come from guides. Number one, that's a stupid idea. Get rid of it. Number two, moderators have to come from some other way than being recommended by other moderators. That is a ludicrously terrible idea. Like, anyone can see how bad that idea is. So, don't do that. Don't ever do that. It's a terrible idea. No, stop. Okay. So, what was I saying? So, from Guides of the Lotus, we now talk about the chat moderators. Now, the chat moderators, they could find themselves in the similar situation as they are now, where the DE team or someone in DE is showing some favoritism to a chat moderator, which is obviously going to cause some problems. Cool. Alright, so knowing that, we could go for the second idea, which is that all chat moderation and all things that the moderator does in terms of chat moderation are logged publicly. Chat moderation logged publicly. So then people can then access those logs of what a chat moderator has done. This could be a big idea. This could be a really big, dumb idea, but chat moderation logged publicly, right? So that people can have a look at what someone has done. We can then bring up more evidence that someone like Missan or Server or Telluric has been a horrendous authoritarian. Yeah. I mean, that could be an interesting idea. That could really be a very, very... Like, that could work, right? And so then people who flagrantly abuse their power out for the world to see, right? I would also include like a form or something where you could possibly submit evidence that a chat moderator has been behaving really, really badly outside of a Warframe context, if it has anything to do with Warframe. So, for example, Shadow, who said that he is Shadow, a chat mod, and he's here to tell you that you're really childish, and because this isn't Warframe region chat, he can be an authoritarian dick. I think that is something that you could possibly throw to like a form so that someone in DE can then have a look. Alright, anyway, I'm tired. I'm done talking about this. Overall, it was a good video, actually. Overall, it was just, yeah, it presented all of the information in a reasonably easy to understand way. It wasn't exactly like a nuclear take or anything, but yeah, there are some things that are really, really troubling. Big if true, and some of those things are true, so big. Alright, cool, that's it for the stream, that's it for the video that I'll be throwing up on YouTube, so hope you guys enjoy this. If you did, hit the like button. If you really enjoyed it, maybe consider subscribing to the channel, because until I get 1,000 subs, I can't get any money out of this. And until I get 2,500 subs, there's no way I could even think about being a Warframe partner, so would be nice if I could do that, but whatever. Anyway, until next time, as always, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Let's put on some copyrighted music. Bye-bye. Here we go.